Hey, what's going on, Screen Peekers? Welcome to our exciting episode of Xbox Game Showcase, where we're going to talk about predictions, we're going to talk about our wish list, and we're going to talk about everything in between. 'Tis the season. But first, let's do some introductions. I am your host, Nick, and with me, he can name every single Xbox game just by description of the cover alone. He's been trying to get me to get Xbox Game Pass. Spoiler, I'm not getting it. Say hello to Marco.
What's up, guys? Marco here. And Nick, I think after this showcase, maybe this is the year that I finally convince you. I think Xbox can do it.
Maybe. I mean, we'll see. I mean, we're not here to talk about Game Pass, but I'll just say this. Game Pass, they did remove Call of Duty day one. But we'll see. Maybe there's something from the showcase that's going to really push me over the edge to get it. But before we dive into our awesome show, just a couple housekeeping items. One, for our YouTube viewers and listeners, please consider subscribing for notifications. If you enjoy the video, leave a like, leave a comment. And for our Spotify listeners and viewers, please consider following so that you are notified when we post new videos. It's much appreciated. It really helps the algorithms, and it helps us. It motivates us to do more. So with that said, let's dive right in. Marco, tell us more about the Xbox Game Showcase.
Yeah, I'm really excited for this one. Like Nick mentioned, I play a little bit of everything, but Xbox is my go-to platform. It's what I play the most. It's what I mostly grew up with. So super excited. This is like a yearly ritual for me. I was telling Nick pre-show, I have a ritual every year. Like I get a bunch of tacos ready. Like that's my Xbox showcase meal. So I'm excited for the showcase and my tacos. But yeah, super excited. I wrote down three big points of what I need to see out of Xbox, what I fully expect to see out of Xbox, and what I really, really want to see out of this showcase. And I think they have a lot of momentum going to this year.
Awesome. Yeah, well, I mean, do you want to start with what you think they'll show? Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, so, I'll start with what I need to see. And this is how I hope how they really open the show. And as we know, Asha Sharma, new to Xbox as of 3 months ago. Phil Spencer really handing over the reins, the keys over to Asha, and I think she has a lot of momentum right now. I think she's doing a lot of the right things. I think she's really just getting to know the gaming industry, the Xbox franchise and IP that Microsoft has. She's done a lot already. She's rebranded Xbox. Now it's in all caps and. It's really kind of invoking that early 2001 Xbox, with the powerful branding. So I think she's doing a lot of the right moves. She's revitalizing Game Pass. She's already decreased the price of Game Pass, as you mentioned. Albeit had to take out Call of Duty, but I think that's honestly the right move from both a financial perspective as well as properly positioning Game Pass to make it a little bit more inviting for people who aren't already subscribed to that purchase. But honestly, Asha Sharma, this is her first time for most people speaking publicly. There's going to be a lot of eyes on this showcase. And if you're in the know, you know what Asha Sharma's been up to, but a lot of people don't know the talking heads behind these brands. And so I really want her to come out strong and prove why do people need to invest in the Xbox platform this year. And if I was to make an analogy, she needs her Reggie Fils-Aimé moment. And by that, I mean, back in Nintendo's history, E3 2004, when Reggie Fils-Aimé first became president of Nintendo of America, the first thing he said on stage was, "Hey, I'm Reggie. I'm about kicking ass and taking names, and Nintendo is about making games." And that lived on famously about Reggie. And I think Asha needs that sort of big presence coming out to just kind of reinvigorate the energy in the Xbox brand. What have your thoughts been on Asha lately? And
I mean, I hope so. I everything you just said, I hope so. Right? Don't know if it's going to be wishful thinking. Phil was good to an extent, but then towards his later end of the talent of his career, I think things kind of fell apart. The one thing is, I know the philosophy for Xbox will change. Asha has mentioned, they are going to look very deeply into console exclusivity, right?
Yeah.
And for me, that's a little bit of a worry. I mean, I get it from their standpoint. They're hoping to sell more hardware. Sony's taking that stance of doing more exclusive games. But I'm a little worried because Microsoft, Xbox, they own a lot of different companies, developers that I genuinely enjoy. Just like, for example, Bethesda, right? I absolutely love Elder Scrolls and Fallout. And I'm afraid it's going to be a console exclusive, or Asha's going to step in and change the vision. I don't know. Well, I guess we'll find out. But
I mean, let's break that down a little bit, because I do think so. VGC posted an article about 3 hours ago, and they interviewed Asha, and Asha did say, that was the biggest piece of feedback. That she put out a survey a couple weeks ago. I myself filled out the survey of, what do Xbox gamers really want to see, and the number one thing was exclusive. Now, that being said, she did say, and Matt Booty reiterated at a IGN interview, and the Xbox podcast a couple days ago, that it will be a game by game basis. And I do think we are redefining what exclusivity means.
yeah, like timed exclusivity, right? I think that's a good
definitely
way
an
to
option.
take it.
I think exclusivity for Microsoft and Xbox from now on will always be Xbox console and PC. I don't think we will ever see a day again where Xbox is exclusively on console. I think Xbox and PC will always be day and date, and that's part of their ecosystem and their platform strategy. They want to promote the Xbox Play Anywhere experience. We know Project Helix next year is going to be more of a PC build and have the more PC integration. And I think that's awesome, because if I buy a game, I get the entitlement to the PC version, to the Xbox version. That is the new exclusivity for Xbox. So exclusivity for Microsoft and Xbox just basically means not on Nintendo Switch and not on PS5, at least at launch day. Now, I do think there's certain games that will always be multi-platform. Call of Duty will always be a multi-platform game. It makes too much money and has too much of a player base on PlayStation platforms to not be exclusive. I think those big multiplayer games will always maintain multi-platform. But to your point, like a Bethesda and Elder Scrolls, could we see potential PC and Xbox console exclusivity and fully miss a PlayStation 5 release? Or I would hope, at the very least, a timed window exclusivity for a year or two. But it'll be interesting how that strategy shakes out. I think Asha's still a little bit too early in her tenure to fully have made a decision on that, so I don't think we'll see much of that in the showcase. But it is good to hopefully hear something about some strategy coming out of Xbox out of this showcase.
Yeah. I mean, and before we jump into the game's predictions, I will say this. I think this is going to reinvigorate the console wars, my friend. I know.
I think it needs to happen in a way. Like it's
Listen,
I never minded it too much because I play everything. But for Xbox to survive, I think they can't go middle ground anymore.
yeah, I read something really interesting earlier today. It was like under Phil, like Xbox was more of a publisher than a console than like a hardware selling company, right? It sounds like they're switching their philosophy to be a little bit more of that hardware selling company, and with that philosophy, they're going to have to look into exclusivity. So, no matter how they take it, I'm interested to see, because, as you said, I like to play all video games. Obviously, if I need to pick up a specific console, I probably will. I just prefer to play on my PC.
There it is.
So,
he said it. Audience, you heard it. He said it. He's open to it. And I think that's exactly the selling point, Like if
we'll see.
if they tie your hands, that's how you sell systems.
we'll see. I mean, like my computer, like is top of the line, right? I mean, not top of the line. It's like a 4090 graphics card, but I mean, this thing can. It's been going for like 3.5, 4 years for me now. It's gonna continue to go for another 5, 6 years for me before I probably upgrade. But
Right.
I feel like the the power, right, of a computer is just always going to be better than a console. But we'll see. I mean, like you said, console, the pros are the accessibility of it, right? Like it's just plug and go, right? I mean, you and I, when we do some gaming, how many like technical issues have we encountered, right? So
With my PC, yeah, all the
yeah,
time. It's extremely frustrating. And it's always my end. Maybe it's user error, but I mean, I think there's
hey,
something to be said about that at the same
we,
time.
we make it work, man. We make it work. But okay, let's jump into some games. That's what they're here for, man.
Yeah.
If you don't mind, I guess I'll give my first game that I'm going to predict. And honestly, like last video, you gave yourself so many points. This is going to be a layup for me. All right, and I'm very confident this will be there, and that game will be Fable. I know it has been delayed, but I'm expecting to see more content, another trailer, and honestly, I'm excited for Fable. I absolutely love the original Fable 1 and Fable 2. Fable 3 was but man, I need Fable in my life. I'm disappointed that they are pushing it back, but hey, I get it. Listen, I get it.
I've heard people say, and I tend to agree. I think this Fable game is arguably one of Xbox's. They have to get this right, and the reason for that, I think Gears of War, which we know will be part of the show, is part of the direct afterwards. Pretty solid franchise. It's gonna draw in numbers.
Yeah, flagship.
Just released. Yeah, it's a flagship title. Forza Horizon 6 is doing gangbusters. Such an amazing game.
6.2 million sold already.
Yeah,
that's
right?
crazy.
And for years, all we said was, "What are the big exclusives of Xbox?" It's Halo, Forza, Gears. Halo, Forza, Gears. And granted, we're getting one of those, all three of those this year, right, in some capacity. But for a long time, it was also Fable, and Fable's been gone. This is a total reboot of the franchise, and I want people to start saying it's Halo, Forza, Gears, Fable, right? After this, so they need to show more of this game. They showed a ton of it earlier this year. They start doing these January developer directs. Now that it's been pushed to February, I don't think we'll see it at the January direct in 2027. So yeah, I agree. I think it's pretty much a lock that we get some new snippet of gameplay at this showcase.
Yeah, absolutely. Give me one of the games off your list, Marco.
There's so many to choose from. Ultimately, though, this is the 25th anniversary of Xbox, right? I need sizzle reels. I need momentum, right? I need to, I really just want to see, revival of dead franchises, right? I'll throw a big prediction. We'll see if it actually happens. We know we're gonna see Halo remake.
Yes,
it's the game
that's on both of our list.
It's on both of our lists. It's the game that started Xbox, right? Where it's I'll predict that it's coming out close to the 25th anniversary, which I think was November 11th, if I remember correctly. I wonder if Halo Studios will give us a tease of what's coming next after the remake. Is it more remakes of Halo 2, Halo 3? Is it a brand new game? We know Halo Infinite, unfortunately, was kind of a flop, both financially and reception-wise. I really hope Halo Studios shows a little bit of the cards up their sleeves of what's coming after this remake. I'm super excited for the remake. I've played Halo, 1 campaign so many times in my life, so I'll definitely be there day one playing it again, especially now I'm excited there's going to be new content. But show me the future of Halo. This is the 25th anniversary of Xbox. Give me some hope for the franchise.
Yeah, man. I mean, talk about flagships for Xbox. Halo at this point is pretty much synonymous with Xbox. I mean, you can ask probably it depends on the age bracket now, probably, right? Like, ask anyone in like their late 20s, early to mid 30s, right? Like, when you think about Xbox, what's the first game that comes to mind? I can almost guarantee that that's going to be Halo.
Yeah.
And I fully expect them to show Halo, the Combat Evolved remake. And just like you, I'm hoping that they show something from the Halo universe. And what I'm hoping for, actually, I hope it's nothing like Halo 4 or Infinite, like this grand big game. Give me an ODST. Give me a game that's a little bit smaller
like
in scope.
Yeah,
like a spin-off, smaller in scope. That way they can focus on getting the gameplay right, getting the story right, and gain some momentum. So when they do create their next big game, they have something to build off of.
Yeah. And hopefully with the switch to Unreal Engine 5, it just makes it easier. You know, that was the whole proponent of why they switched to Unreal Engine 5. It was so hard to use their Slipspace engine, hard to get developers. They had contractors in and out. I'm hoping with Unreal Engine 5, I know development times are getting ridiculous nowadays, but I'm hoping they can start pumping something out. I know they wanted Halo Infinite to be this long roadmap game. It's not. That game has come to an end and they need to move on. And I'm excited to see, hopefully at this showcase, what that might be. Let's talk about Gears of War E-Day. We know obviously it's going to be there. There's going to be a direct. Curious on what your feelings are. I love the Gears franchise. I will say the last two, Gears 4, Gears 5, they were good, but they were fairly disappointing. I do think Gears of War E-Day is exactly what the franchise needs to reinvigorate the fan base. Going back to Marcus and Dom, a grittier, scarier story. You know, we didn't see too much in gameplay, but I think this game is going to blow us away. And quite honestly, could be game of the show, maybe even game of the week. If I, you know, if they play their cards right. Look, the Coalition, all these epic developers, they know how to push Unreal Engine 5 to their limits. This could be one of the best looking games that we see all year and for years to come if they get it right.
Yeah, I mean, talk about visceral gameplay. I mean, when Gears first came out onto the scene, I was obsessed. I was one of those try-hard players online, you know, wall bouncing with my shotgun. And dude, that game, man, it just, you say Gears of War, and instantly, it takes me back to those days of just playing until 2-3 in the morning with my buddies online, talking trash on Xbox Live. Like, it was such a great game. Now here's the thing, and here's why I'm not super confident. All right, the last two Gears games, that's what, Gears 5 and Gears, was it
Gears
4?
4.
Yeah. Dude, I couldn't get through them. I was straight up falling asleep. My buddy and I, we were trying to do co-op. I remember that. Like, it was not good, and it just didn't draw me in like the first, second, and third Gears. I mean, the first three Gears, absolute cinema, absolute peak of the franchise. Hopefully, like you said, with them revisit, you said they're revisiting, Marcus and Dom. Hopefully
it's
that
emergency.
Okay. Hopefully that brings it, brings us back, and they can get back to form, because that would be exciting. Because like I said, this franchise brings back a lot of good memories. I would hate for it to end on a sour note for me.
Yeah, I mean, like, and look, again, it's 25th year of Xbox. I think they're going big with this game. I think they took their sweet time with it, right? We haven't seen Gears 5 since 2019. 7 years later, they've put a lot of time and effort into this one, really just perfecting the engine. I think this is going to be a monumental release for Xbox. I'm hoping, they release it at a good time, that, September is already looking packed. I'm curious when this fall they'll release it, because it's going to have to go against some heavy hitters. But if they do it right, this could be one of the biggest games of the year for sure. So I'm probably most hyped to see what Gears of War. I know Fable's going to be good, but Gears of War, let's see what they've been cooking up and perfecting for 7 years.
Hey man, listen, all I've got to say, between this showcase, the State of Play, and the Summer Games Fest, as gamers like us, we are eating good. I'm telling you, like I said in the previous video, my daughter is going to be born in November. I think I need to start putting aside a little nest egg for video games because we're gonna be spending a lot of money. But hey, listen, there is a game I want to talk about real quick. It's actually a giant departure from Gears of War. It's on the total opposite end of the spectrum. Are you ready for this?
I'm ready. Hit me.
Viva Pinata, man. Give me some Viva Pinata. Who's with me? Because we have not gotten have we even gotten a sequel to Viva Pinata? I don't even think so.
Rare has been stuck on 2 games. They've been stuck on Sea of Thieves, which will be at this showcase. I can almost name a dollar amount. Sea of Thieves season 172 is going to be there. Whatever season they're on will be there. They've been working on Sea of Thieves for a decade now. And then they've been working on a game that was just recently canceled, which was also almost worked on for 7-8 years, which is Everwild, which we didn't know exactly what it was. Looked pretty cool in pre-trailers, but unfortunately that game got canceled. And I did have on my list, what is Rare possibly working on outside of Sea of Thieves? They're some of the best developers, gave us some of my favorite childhood games, Viva and Pinata included. I would argue there's some older stuff than Viva Pinata that I would like to see return first. But
Conker's Bad Fur Day.
Conker, look, Xbox is sitting on so many major IPs that they have completely fumbled the bag on. And we need to see something, whether it's Viva Pinata, Conker, or I'm going to shout out, because this was on my list. I don't know if we'll see it, but if this would be the biggest reveal of the show, if I got a Banjo and 3, the 3rd game in the Banjo-Kazooie franchise, me and the Banjo Bros would go absolutely nuts.
Yeah.
And I harken back. Game Awards 2024, Astrobot on PlayStation won Game of the Year, and they zoomed in on Phil Spencer's face. And I don't know how you could be Phil Spencer watching Astrobot win Game of the Year, a platformer, and not think, I've been sitting on Banjo-Kazooie for decades, and I haven't gotten a sequel. They need to start development on that yesterday.
And you know what? For all you listeners out there, I will double down on that, and I agree. I think Banjo-Kazooie is going to make a comeback, and I think that's going to be for this showcase, because platformers have been absolutely insane lately. I think they want to get on that train, and I would bet that they've been putting this in development for at least a while now, if not at least some sort of teaser. I can totally envision that. But yeah, I mean, going back to your point though, like I said, Xbox was going through this whole publisher phase. They're sitting on a gold mine of IPs and franchises, and they need to act on it, because what is up with paying for all these games and just sitting on it or canceling them and not doing anything with them? It makes no sense.
They have major franchises in so many different genres, and I'll just rattle some off because I wrote this down as what I would love to see potentially big reveals besides Banjo and Kazooie. In the fighting genre, Killer Instinct was a launch title for Xbox One 2013. 2D fighters are some of the biggest franchise, genres right now. How have you not released a Killer Instinct 2? We need to see something like that. Prototype with the acquisition of Activision and Blizzard. There's been long rumors that there'd be a Prototype remake, Prototype 3.
Please. A Prototype was amazing.
Amazing. Came out at the same time as the Infamouses of the world. Those when the superhero open world, whenever we got in one of those types of games in a long time, they're sitting on that franchise.
Dude.
Sitting.
Man. But the thing is, Prototype 2 was bad, but I mean, hey, listen, I'll take a remake of 1, even if it's not a sequel. I'll take it, because I've had so many good memories, man. Fusion Frenzy.
I like look, Xbox has so much to sit on, and that's why I am particularly excited about this showcase. I keep mentioning it, but again, 25 years of Xbox. I do think we see some revival of some long dormant franchise. I hope they take us through the paces of Xbox's history for the last 25 years and they show what's next. I mean, again, they have revivals this year of a new Forza, a new Gears, a new Halo, a new Fable coming. There's 15 other franchises that they also have. Hopefully we see something else coming out of them that we haven't been expecting.
Yeah, absolutely. Um, awesome. We're coming up on
Some
our.
other
Yep,
yeah.
yep. I was gonna say we're coming on 25-minute mark. Do you want to give another big game and then we'll shoot off some quick hitters?
Yeah, I think the other big game that I definitely expect to see at least a trailer for is Clockwork Revolution,
Dude.
out of In Exile Entertainment. I I'll be curious how much they show. I do think my prediction for that game is it's a Q1, Q2 release for 2027.
Yeah.
And knowing that they do these developer directs in January, I think maybe they show a small trailer, but they kind of really just tease us for January when they do a big deep dive on Clockwork Revolution, because I do think it's going to come sooner than we expect. But yeah, what are your thoughts on the game?
Well, we were talking about this in the pre-show. I had zero idea this game was coming out until Marco was like, "Hey, did you watch this trailer before we jump on this recording?" I'm like, "What? What is Clockwork Evolution?" And I was like, "Oh, Revolution." I look it up, and man, this game looks amazing. I keep saying all these games look amazing, but I'm just so hyped for like a Bioshock-esque game, right? And this looks good. It honestly looks good. It's like a Western Bioshock. Yeah, I mean, I haven't seen all too much, but I hope they do show something so that.
And yeah, In Exile Entertainment, like great storytellers, the people who brought you the Wasteland 3
Oh yeah, great games.
like, real deep story, great world building. I think this is one of the games I've been excited for ever since they announced it. Like, I love the BioShock type, single player shooter RPG. I'll
Yeah.
call them, like, with just an intriguing story, and I'm really looking forward to that one. Um, and then I do think another big game will be State of Decay 3 from Undead
Oh.
Labs. This game was announced with Xbox Series X in 2019, 2020. One of the first games we ever saw. Never saw much in terms of gameplay. We do know Undead Labs has been running alpha tests with
Yep, I was just about to say that.
gamers.
Yep.
So I think now's the time we finally see some proper gameplay. We've only seen like little 2-second snippets, and it looks great. I'm excited. Like, this is one of the games they promised to us, going on 6-7 years. I don't know when it releases. It could be a fall of next year type title. We could probably see. I'm expecting more of a deep dive probably at the January Developer Direct showcase, but give us a solid 2-3 minute gameplay trailer at this showcase.
Yeah, I mean, State of Decay, man, it one of the best zombie games out there in my opinion, other than like Project Zomboid. I don't know if you played that game, but I here's the thing. Every iteration of State of Decay, they've done improvements, they've added more. I think State of Decay 3 will finally put them in this spot where it feels like a proper AAA game. The first game was pretty janky. The second game was a little less janky. Hopefully they really remove some of that jankiness and add some smoothness to this game. But yeah, that, man, if you're looking for a zombie game, State of Decay, that franchise is fantastic.
Yeah. I'll write off just some quick hitters that I think will be there, and then maybe we could say what our last big expectation, or what do we think the last reveal of the show might be, something that you want to see or would blow you away. But my other locks and predictions will be a Doom the Dark Ages DLC. Doom the Dark Ages, probably not the best of the trilogy, but excellent game. They did mention that they would have a story, like a campaign-sized DLC, so I do think that'll be at this showcase. We're 1 year, out from the original release date of Doom the Dark Ages. Outer Worlds 2 was their big release last fall. Obsidian Entertainment, I think, always puts out great story DLC, so I'm hoping we see what's coming next for the Outer Worlds 2. Also from Obsidian, they announced Grounded 2. I do think we finally see more of that game. Not my cup of tea, but I do know it's a vastly popular game. That survival crafting, cutesy art style, like kids in the backyard fighting bugs. So I do think we see more Grounded too. And of course, because they own the franchise, I think we do see a little bit more from Modern Warfare 4. I know they just showed off their incredible single player trailer. I thought it actually got me genuinely excited about this year's Modern Warfare. I know it's
Yeah.
they're really hit or miss with the Call of Duties, but I'm fairly excited for this one. I think we probably see maybe some Warzone teases or some multiplayer gameplay since we just saw the campaign. So I'm expecting Warzone or Call of Duty Modern Warfare 4 to have a decent presence. Yeah, and then I could go into my 2 or 3 big predictions, but
Yeah, go for it.
any other you okay? So I think I mentioned this with the Sony predictions that Naughty Dog never really capitalized too much on the Last of Us HBO TV show. I could say the same for Xbox and Bethesda not capitalizing enough on Fallout.
That's mine.
Is the
Yep.
is this the year we get something Fallout related?
I think we will.
Obviously, ideally would be Fallout 5 or what everyone really wants out of Obsidian, Josh Schroyer,
New
Fallout New
Vegas
Vegas
too.
2.
Yeah.
But
I
could we see something else? Could we see the shadow drop of Fallout 3 remake?
listen, as much as I want to see Fallout because that's literally one of my favorite franchises of all time, I think the masses would riot because Elder Scrolls 6 isn't even out yet. And now they're showing, Fallout. But maybe you're right. Maybe they go the remaster route and remaster 3 because that's generally one of the best Fallouts out there, in my opinion. Maybe they remaster 3 and New Vegas and put it all in one pack. There was a mod out there. I think it's called like the Extended Wasteland. There's a mod out there on PC where it connects both Fallout 3 to Fallout New Vegas, and you can play both games like in one sitting. Essentially, it's so cool.
Right.
Maybe they'll do something similar. I don't know, but
Yeah, I
would love to see something Fallout related.
I think we know Todd Howard's probably going to retire on Elder Scrolls 6, and I think that game doesn't see the live day till 2028, 2029.
Yeah, it's his magnum
And
opus.
he's mentioned wanting to do Fallout 5. I don't think he sees it through that end. I think they need to bring in Obsidian to help them develop something Fallout related, because with game development times taking as long as they are, like, we just can't wait this long for Elder Scrolls 6 and then Fallout. Like,
Yeah.
I think they need to start working simultaneously. So I love you, Todd Howard, if you're if you ever watch this, but you gotta give the franchise to some other hands,
Hey,
and maybe you oversee it, but let's get more games.
as much as I love Todd Howard, Todd, forgive me because I'm gonna say this. I think it's an ego thing, man. I think he saw that Obsidian did such a fantastic job with New Vegas and how New Vegas really popped off as one of the best Fallouts out there. I think it's an ego thing.
I mean, it's definitely part of it, but give the man props. He revived the franchise, and it's his baby,
for
so
sure.
I get it. But sometimes money does talk, and I think in this case, money talks, and we got to get that going. Cool. I think my last big prediction, close out the show. I think we need something big out of Activision Blizzard, specifically on the Blizzard side. Something that we weren't expecting. There's been some rumors on a StarCraft revival. A lot of people are leaning, perhaps it's a StarCraft shooter. Could a announcement of a shooter in the StarCraft universe be what closes out the show? As much as I would love a StarCraft shooter, like I know everyone's pissed off years ago when they canceled StarCraft Ghost.
Yeah.
Yeah. I honestly, like, how have we not made StarCraft 3? Like, StarCraft was the game before League of Legends, before Overwatch. name some of the biggest competitive esports games. Like RTS fans, you said, like, we need a StarCraft. Like, can you imagine how big a StarCraft 3, if they got it right, could be? But yeah, I'm something in the StarCraft universe, I think, could be like the tease. And, perhaps they would save it for BlizzCon for September. But, I think if they went out with a trailer and like, hey, it's coming sooner than you think, and see more at BlizzCon, that'd be a perfect ending for the show.
Yeah, no, I think that would be a great ending. You want to hear what I think potentially can be a big ending? I think they spent a lot of money on this particular franchise. This is a franchise that is ultimately super beloved by many generations at this point. This game started out as an indie, was acquired by Microsoft, and that game is Minecraft. I think, building off of the Minecraft movie hype, I think they're gonna release either a big they're going to announce a big Minecraft update, or I think they will do a spinoff. I think it's about time they do something more with Minecraft. Obviously, Minecraft itself is an insane game, right? There are hundreds of thousands of mod packs and mods that you can download. You can turn Minecraft, this survival, block building game, into this you can turn it into anything you want. I think it's time for them to do something more and spin off to another Minecraft type game. So I can see that.
I had it on my list. They had Minecraft Dungeons, I think it was called, and I do think they're making the sequel, and I do think that will actually be at the show, the Minecraft Dungeons 2. But to your point, I don't know if it's a show closer, but a huge big update to Minecraft, like, new engine or new, like, something big could be exciting. I mean, like, look, it's still to this day one of the top played games, one of the biggest franchises. I don't think Minecraft Dungeons or whatever it's called, like,
it was okay.
It sold decently.
Yeah,
it sold decently well, and I think they're trying to go the sequel route.
Dude,
but like, yeah, I think
it's a kid's PoE, man.
Yeah, yeah, children's PoE, which, hey, maybe there's an audience for, but still nowhere near as big as the main game. Like, yeah, go like the Rocket League route where they're like, got everyone hyped. Unreal Engine 6, big update to Rocket League. The crowd goes crazy. Like, yeah, I would love to see the same thing for Minecraft for sure.
Awesome. Well, Marco, any closing remarks?
Look, if they can hit the ground running, obviously hit on the nostalgia piece, I think they're doing all the right moves with the rebrand, just kind of revitalizing the what made Xbox successful, right? It was like the raw energy of, these developers who, who went against everything Microsoft was about at the time. It was unheard of. Tap into like the early 2000s, raw game development for Xbox. I think, look, it's time to celebrate, and it's time to look forward to the future. Keep reviving those franchises, invest in all these new things. Like, there's so many that we didn't even touch on in this show. Like, they got Blade, they got new studios. Elsewhere Entertainment was founded 2 years ago. Where are they working? Like, they have so much potential to, like, just blow us out of the water. Like, again, they just need to show a little bit more of their hand, and again, convince us, why do we want or need to buy an Xbox? And especially a new Xbox coming out next year, Project Helix, which we won't see at the show, but get us invested in this platform, right? Like, I think they lost a lot of their following. They've kind of made their hardcore base go adrift a bit. Bring us back, and this is the year to do it.
Can you guys tell that he's the biggest Xbox fanboy out there? Or at least between... I'm kidding. But no, absolutely, Marco, I think you're right. And with that, everybody, before we close out, I just want to say, please, if you guys enjoy this content, again, make sure to subscribe if you're on YouTube. Like and comments. We would love to talk to you all, be engaged with you all. Please follow us on Spotify. Again, all this engagement helps. Marco and I, we do this for fun. It's something that we do on a daily basis. We chat video games. We shoot the shit, right? And we're we're 9 to 5 gamers just like you all. So if that is something that speaks to you, let us know. Follow us, and with that, hopefully our predictions match. Hopefully our predictions show up.
Yeah, catch us at our next video. We'll be breaking down the showcase.
Yep.
You know, right after it happens, and we'll be posting our thoughts and we'll see what we got right. But yeah, appreciate you guys taking the time to watch us. We really appreciate it. Every view counts, and like you guys are our early adopters. If you're listening to this part of the video, like sincerely from the bottom of our hearts, like thank you so much. We look forward to interacting with you and enjoy the showcase.
Yep. See you, everyone.